We've had a very busy past few days, and today's the start of my computer editing day. So I just want to walk around and show you a couple things. First is Jamie's mule, right? She got a mule. She skipped the chickens and went straight to a mule. How could you get a mule before chickens? I don't understand it. But she wanted a mule, so she got a mule. This one's kind of old. It'll do the job, but it's an old one. She got a mule. So here's the deal with the side-by-side versus the Jeep versus a four-wheeler kind of thing. Going into this property, I always wanted a four-wheeler. I spent the last little bit of my my teenage years, I guess you could say, living on a four-wheeler. I rode the four-wheeler in so many places. I should not have ridden it. I had some land in Blue Mountain, Mississippi, which my land backed up to the Holly Springs National Forest. And as a young, ignorant kid, late teens, early 20s, I had no idea you're not supposed to ride on National Forest land. And we rode all through them. There's so many trails up there. And you could ride, you could head out at like 9 a.m. and get back at like 4 or 5 at night, eat lunch on the road, on the trail, and never hit the same trail twice. It was just like, and we always just casually trail rode. We never really did the mud hole thing, anything like that, which I've talked about previously. I'm not a big fan of mud, never have been. Anyway, I didn't know you're not supposed to ride in National Forest land. I was ignorant. I should not have done it, but we did. So I love four-wheelers. I've always loved four-wheelers. It's so much fun, especially when you're the only one on it and you have full control. It just makes you feel like Superman walking around. So going into this property, I wanted something that our family could use. So that's why we decided to get the that Bad Boy Bandit side-by-side. And we liked it. We really did. Until we got to a point where, no biting, no biting. Dogs don't bite each other. Man, the dogs, they bite each other's ears. One of them was bleeding the other day. We've got to get that under control. So anyway, we got the side-by-side because that was the best family vehicle we could find for the trails. And then got to a point where I needed something, I wanted something a little bit stronger to pull stuff around. And it could pull a little bit, but I wanted to pull more. So we ended up trading it for a Jeep. Everything was great. And then I realized Jamie's just not fond of the Jeep. She doesn't like the manual transmission. She doesn't like how high it is getting in and out. I think it is, well, I know for sure it is a fantastic multi-purpose vehicle for this property because I could use it for so much stuff. I can use it for the trails. I can use it as my unstucker, right? It's got a winch on it, so anything, when stuff gets stuck, I can use it to get stuff out, which I already have done that. And I just like it. Also, it's a daily driver too. It's street legal. Insanely cheap, by the way. Our insurance went up by $7 a month getting that thing insured. And then the tag for it was like $25, $30, something like that. It's a really cheap vehicle to drive. So Jamie doesn't really care for it. And I thought, you know, really got to get something for Jamie because a lot of the stuff we do outside is based upon what I'm doing, my abilities, because I'm doing more physically than she is. And of course I've got the tractor. Tyler has the small tractor, the old lawnmower. So I found this on Facebook Marketplace. It's a 1995 Mule, Kawasaki Mule, four-wheel drive, and it looks to be pretty well maintained. Now it's a 1995 model, so it's not going to be shiny. It's going to have a little bit of rust here and there, but it looks to be very, very well maintained. It was listed for sale for $2,000. I paid $2,000 for it. I think it was worth it. The gentleman who owned it, just a typical Southern good fella kind of a guy. He is the second owner. He bought it from his cousin, and they just putz around on their property. They have a lot of wooded acreage, and they just putz around on their property. Another relative recently gave him a newer one, so he wanted to let this one go. It is a 95 model, like I said. 5 years ago, his son ran it out of oil, so they rebuilt the engine 5 years ago, and then last year he replaced the clutch. This thing is quieter than the Bad Boy Bandit was. It's larger. The dump bed is way larger, and it's all metal and not plastic. So we got in this thing. Oh, she drove it around quite a bit. She loves it. This thing is awesome, and it's perfect for her because she's a slow driver. I pick on her all the time. She's a granny driver. She drives real slow. Well, this thing's gonna last her forever if all she does is putz around on the property. Crank it up, let it warm up before you get going, and just putz around and don't do anything crazy. It's gonna last her forever. It really is. Like I said, it's not the most shiny thing in the world. The cats are playing. Cat and dog. Cat and dog. Which cat is it? Which dog is it? I know it's Grace. Grace? Oh, you're Nolly, buddy. Mr. Nolly, which kitty cat are you chasing? Not chasing, playing with. The cats chase the dogs and the dogs chase the cats. We used to get on the dogs and say, hey, quit chasing the cat. And then we realized the cats are chasing the dogs too. So everyone's all playing and no one's getting hurt and all that good stuff. They just like to run around. Hey, hey, give her some space. Which kitty cat? This is Sarah. Hey, yeah, give me some space too. So anyway, for a 1995 model, this is the major damage right there. That's not bad. The bed has got surface rust. There's one little spot right here that it's kind of rusted through, but it's still hard. That'll be an easy repair when the time comes. We got the back rack grill, I guess you could say. That's this right here to put back in it. I am gonna do that for her so she can hang some tools under it. Yeah, it's just a bare bones, basic, easy to work on side by side. There's not all these bells and whistles, and I think we did all right. I think she's going to get a lot of really good use out of this thing. And the main thing, like I said, is she loves it. So now that she has something to putz around on the property, take the trash to the end of the road, trash to the end of the driveway, which feels like a road, and she can do her own thing while I'm doing my own thing, which is great. So I'm gonna walk up the driveway and show you progress on a few different things we've got going on. Still making a little bit of progress here and there, clearing all this muddy stuff that we can't really get any use out of. It's just muddy old logs, so can't really chip them. Gotta burn them. But we're starting to get a little bit of open area through here, which is nice. We want to get rid of the berm, flatten it all out so you can see into the woods, get some nice grasses growing. I'm working on another drainage point for this ditch. I don't think it necessarily has to have it, but this corner has a little bit of standing water that I'd like to keep getting out of here. It is lower over there, so that'd be fine. Just another little drainage area. Up here is where we first cleaned up the berm, the very beginning, I guess the beginning of last fall. And Grace takes this tug-of-war rope with her everywhere. Gracie, what you got there, girl? What you got there, girl? So in this area, we have done chaos gardening. We're just throwing seeds, right? We'll go to, every time we go grocery shopping, we'll get a couple bags of like pinto beans, black-eyed peas, lentils, just all kinds of random beans, and we've thrown them out there. Just let them grow, see what happens. Food for wildlife, just to get roots established. Now I say roots established, but there is a seed bank here that's just producing all kinds of wildflowers, because when I first cleared the berm, there's like a 5-foot mud berm right here, mud and sticks and all that, right? Burned it over there. When I did that, we had a lot of natural wildflowers come up on their own. So I'm expecting a lot of that to happen this year, but also this, as you can see right here, this is all Jamie's experiment with cardboard and then wood chips. So there's cardboard, wood chips, and everything growing on top is just growing in the wood chips, and eventually it'll break through onto the cardboard and whatever. She's transplanted some of these daisies from up near the road. There's a bunch of daisies that are naturally occurring up near the road. Put them out here. She got a little wind catcher thingy, which is pretty neat when the wind actually blows. Oh, it's knocked over a little bit. And what else did we throw over here? We threw a bunch of clover. So the goal is, like I said, just to have a lot of just random vegetation. Now she planted all these daisies in a row, and I told her, hey, do what you want to do. That's fine, that's fun. But all these wildflowers that were already here are going to dwarf them and you'll never see them. So there's that. All this green is really nice to see. And as I walk up here, you'll see how much of a difference we've already made, because this corner of the berm from coming up there is untouched, and it's just chaos. It's just horrible. On this side over here, all this fresh dirt looking stuff on the top, that's what I threw up there when I was cleaning out this ditch last year, and I have yet to pull this back. I want to pull that back and spread it out so it's not a berm. And then we have a couple stumps that I need to grind out of this area right here. This is where there was honestly a really ugly maple tree, which sounds weird to say. It was a red maple that was really ugly. It was distracting from the view and really wasn't serving anything. So we cut that up and did not burn it per se. I cut it up for firewood for my uncle. He came and got it. And yeah, I haven't really done much progress over here. That was the leftover section of culvert from this culvert that we had installed. And I've got a section of trail that needs a culvert to stop the washout from where we're driving through it. And that'll be repurposed, well, used rather, elsewhere. Through all this smaller green, not all of it, but we threw a lot of clover over here too, and it seems to be exploding right now. Hey Nolly, what you find, buddy? What you find, buddy? One-eared Nolly. See his other ear? Only one of his ears is sticking up, and it's because they chew on each other constantly. We're really doing as good a job as we can to break them from chewing on each other. Grace, please don't bury that. Okay, you can go lay down, that's fine. All right, so this is the chaos side that I have not gotten to. So this is the berm we're trying to get rid of. Done quite a bit over there. This has to go. And this may or may not show up well on camera, but behind it is nothing but two things that I want to remove. Chinese privets. So the majority of that greenery that we're looking at is Chinese privets. They're exploding right now. And then also, I don't know how much you can see it, all this twisty stuff. It's a real big diameter vine. It's not poison ivy vine that, of course, now that I'm talking about it, I'm going blank on what it actually is. It's up in this tree as well. It's all over the place. These big Tarzan vines. I forget the name. Wonderful time to forget the name of it. We've got a trail right here. This is part of our perimeter trail going back that way. We've got to do a little bit of groundwork right here to stop the flooding. Like 10 or 15 feet into the trail it floods, and I gotta take care of that. This is the trench from the electrical, and I have no hurry to get it filled back in, because the longer it sits, the more I'm familiar with where it's actually at. And yeah, I want to know where that's at for the time being. I still don't want to cover it up just yet. Same for the water. As I'm working through here, I want to know where the water line is, so I don't accidentally go too deep with the box blade clearing it or cleaning it up or whatever. So that's why it's not filled in after all this time. Also, we went through the entire winter without any water freezing at all. So we had 4 consecutive days without 4 consecutive days below freezing. I'm about to sneeze, hold on. So we had 4 consecutive days below freezing. One of those nights it got down to 7 degrees Fahrenheit, which for us in Mississippi is brutally cold, and we had nothing freeze, even with this all exposed. So that means the 2-inch diameter line worked out. Larger diameter, it's not going to freeze, and of course the depth worked out, so it's not going to freeze anyway. Here in Mississippi, we have an 8-inch frost line. 8, like the number after 7. That's it. Over here, this is looking so much better. Man, this is looking so much better. All this is nice and cleared out from the invasive stuff. This was 100% pines and privets. So we didn't do anything crazy, right? We're just getting rid of pines and privets. Pines, they're smaller, so they're not serving really any benefit from it. There's no birds' nests in them that we can find. So it's just, there's nothing really of value there. So let's get rid of it and get this area turned back into like a grassland savanna-ish. So that's one of the things that we're trying to do as well. there's a local plant nursery that we found. As a matter of fact, somebody in the comment section, I believe the comment was left on my website, jayscustomcreations.com, on my website, and it was something about, I forget the name of the website. It was plantnative.com or something like that. So I go to this website about native plants, and I search for a dealer near me, and there's a new nursery in New Albany, Mississippi that's a native plant specialty area, specialty place. I'm like, oh, wonderful. So I go up there and talk to him, and yeah, this place should be for as far as wildlife is concerned, like a grassland savanna, how it used to be. So we talked about planting different native grasses, and also he said that we have a really deep seed bank up here. He said if you get rid of the invasive stuff and just leave it, it'll probably grow back with all these native seeds that are supposed to be here, which is exactly what happened when the driveway was cleared. Because last spring the driveway was cleared, and then as summer went on, the side of the driveway was in like 4 or 5 foot high wildflowers, the majority of them being just this beautiful yellow, and a bunch of bees were on them, and it was a lot of fun to watch. But I had to clear that out so I could get the berm out of there. So that should come back on its own. If that's the case, all of this should replant on its own. So that's exciting. Now, one thing that we are also doing here is kind of some more of that chaos gardening, just throwing out a bunch of beans, basically lentils, black-eyed peas, black beans, kidney beans, just all kinds of beans that you can get off the shelf. I saw a video of some people doing that just to get some roots established, and wildlife will just chew those to pieces, and hopefully that attracts some wildlife while the natural stuff is growing. So that's going to be fun to see it all grow back and evolve. Also, another way to attract wildlife, as was pointed out in these comments, is something that I often overlook, and that's the water supply. If you have some type of water right here, a lot of animals will come back or stay around because they have a place to drink and hydrate themselves. Right inside these privets back here, I can't see the screen. Yeah, right inside these privets right here is a low spot. It's already holding water. There's another low spot right there holding water. So what I'm going to do is, once I get into those privets and keep cleaning that out towards the driveway, I'm going to dig it down even deeper, so get the low spot even lower, so hopefully it hits the standing water. We have a pretty shallow water table here, so hopefully it gets standing water. And it'd be great if I could have a water source for these animals year-round right up here. So there's the plan with that. And then what else? Along the ditch over here on both sides, you see all this greenery back there around the driveway. That's mostly clover. We're trying to just throw out a bunch of clover just to get some roots in the ground, I want to show you the trunk of this walnut tree. It's pretty gnarly. So remember, I think that these walnut trees were purposefully planted because there's 3 pairs of 2. So there's 2 right here, skip a distance, and then there's 2 over there, skip a distance, and there's 2 over there. So they're purposefully planted. And I think we got the vines out in time, but looking at this tree, man, it's seen some better days, right? So we've got some barbed wire sticking out of it right here, more barbed wire right here sticking out of it. But look at all the holes in this thing. I mean, it's just full of holes. I don't know much about what's eating this thing. But last year we still had a lot of leaves on this tree. It's a little too early for leaves to be showing up just yet. But these are some huge walnut trees, and I want to save them. I really hope we got them in time to save them. This one didn't have too many vines on it, so it was pretty easy to clean up. This one, on the other hand, I still have to do a little bit more work. I think I cut them all the way around, but I want to pull some more of them off. These vines, wow, incredible. So the fuzzy vine is poison ivy, and I think the fuzzy, I don't know much about it, but I think the fuzziness roots itself into the bark and pulls moisture out of it, because even after I cut it, several months after I cut it, when the time came for leaves to come back on it, you're not going to be able to see. There's too much contrast. But right on the top of that limb right there, you see that fuzziness? That's leaves from poison ivy that were once, like a week ago, were just vibrant green, like they just exploded with life. And I'm thinking, dang, I already cut them. What's the deal? So I think what it did is it exploded with life, pulling the moisture out of the bark. And then we've had like 5 or 6 days of no rain, and they just wilted away. They're clearly not getting anything down below. It's all from the surface of the bark, but I think they're actually dead now. So I haven't seen anything green from the vines. But all of these little itty bitty branches coming off, that's all coming from the vines. That's not from the tree. Now, last fall, the leaves were all on the ends, all the way around of the actual walnut tree itself. I don't know what this tree is. I haven't identified it yet. Just looking at bark, I'm not the best. So I'm not entirely sure what this is yet. I'm gonna wait until the leaves start to grow and then make a decision whether or not it stays or not. But it is, I mean, it's a decent diameter, so it's living right there. But I don't know how much competition these two are fighting for as far as the canopy space. But as of right now, I am most excited about this space right here on the property. All of this, when you come in the driveway, actually let me back up just a little bit. So when you come in the driveway, we cleared out these two walnut trees. Once they bloom, and well, once the leaves start to come back, and all of this is covered in some real tall wildflowers and grasses, and we have an opportunity to see wildlife every single time we come home. You know, bunnies, squirrels, whatever. It's going to be really, really nice. So your immediate focal point is here. Awesome. I love it. And then as you come around, it opens up into that focal point, which will be the orchard at one point. Man, it's just, I love this property. I really do. Like, this is, I am living life right now. This is so much fun. So much fun. Every single day. It's a lot of work, but you know, nothing works unless you do. So it doesn't matter what you do. You're working for yourself or you're working for somebody else. Look at these trees. Man, I hope we can save them in time. This one still has a few vines in it. And all that green, the majority of that green is privets. Just, oh man. It's just annoying. And then this berm, got to get rid of this berm. What are you doing, Mr. Nolly? Grace! Come on, girl. Gracie, Gracie! I love this dog. I love them all. What are you doing, girl? I love you. No, get down. All right. A little status update, I guess. We're making really good progress. Starting to realize that we have so many different directions to go in on this property. You know, all that work there's a lot of work to be done down by the creek as well. Every time we walk the dogs, I'm either walking with the machete or the little top-handled chainsaw. So every time we walk, I'm on vine patrol. I'm staring and finding the vines and cutting vines and cutting vines and cutting vines and cutting vines, and it's starting to add up. But we still have so much more to do. There's a lot of kudzu in one particular area near the creek that I really want to get under control, because if you don't know what kudzu is, well, it's just like Chinese privets. They go all over the place. It's just like bamboo. It goes all over the place, and once it reaches a point where it just grows faster than you can pull it, well, not much you can do other than spray chemicals, which I don't want to do at all. I've got 3 pine trees that I must take down here in this orchard immediately, as soon as possible. Maybe today or tomorrow, actually, because the beetles. Working on a sawmill. More on a sawmill soon, hopefully. One more tool upgrade. Hopefully I can talk about that soon. There's that. Yeah, work out by the creek. There's a lot of just junk that needs to be cleared, as far as vines, and mostly vines. she left her rope. Grace, get your rope, girl. Go get your rope. Go get your rope. Where's your rope? Good girl, Gracie. Gracie, Gracie. Mr. Nolly got it. All right. Well, I think that's it for this one. It's starting to get hot. I got to take this jacket off and get to work. Unfortunately, this beautiful day, I've got to edit video. Got to edit video. And that's another thing. Like, one of these days, I might hire out video editing. But as of right now, I simply can't. We're running everything off of cell phone internet, which isn't fun. But phone in the window and upload overnight kind of a thing. That's it. Got to get to work. Boring computer stuff. You guys take care, and I'll talk to you later.